Lanka. Welcome back to the show. Now, we were in discussion with Sara Samarasinghe, who has put Sri Lanka on the map. She was born and raised in the United States, but she's Sri Lankan, of course, and she's someone who has published 6 novels by the time she was 16, and now she's here on the show. You're a bit older now, Sara, like I mentioned in the earlier segment, but your 7th novel is in the works as well.
Yes.
Let's hear something about that.
Sure. It's also geared towards young adults. Even though I'm a little older now, I still wanted to write for teenagers, and I feel that my writing voice is best suited for a teenage girl. This book is about a girl who's going through the typical issues that teenage girls face in high school, trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, where she fits in, especially in high school, and also where she wants to go to college and things like that. But she's also built up this very strong relationship with a boy she's known for a very long time, and their families have been very close since as long as she can remember. And this boy is away at military school, but she's been writing letters with him back and forth, and he's her rock, and he's just her sense of support when she needs it. But then when she least expects it, he returns to her hometown, and she has to deal with the fact that he's back, and how is this going to change how they're friends and how their relationship is. And while she's struggling with that, which is the typical crush issues that all girls face at some point, she also starts to deal with the fear that there's a serial killer in town. So that was out of the blue. Yeah, it's out of the blue. Yes, there's a serial killer involved. So it's a bit of a horror story as well, too. But she begins to get more and more terrified that the serial killer could be after her, and she might be the next victim. So it's a bit of a mystery in the sense that she's trying to solve the case while the police are working on it, and she's putting herself in danger too. Wow.
Okay, so do you write yourself into your novels at any point? Do you look at your main character and say, hey, this girl is kind of like me?
I don't know. I guess maybe a few qualities, and I guess the way she speaks naturally just sounds like my writing voice is just the way I talk, because that's what comes easiest for me. But some of the characters and some of the relationships that she builds are, I guess, somewhat similar to the ones that I have in my life. But it's easy to base my relationships and put them into the story for me. So.
You're writing about things you know.
Writing about things I know and putting a bit of a twist on it.
Embellishment on that. All right, but this sounds very interesting. So the title of the book is not decided yet.
No, it's tentatively called From the Ashes.
From the Ashes. All right, but that's coming out from Sara Samarasinghe very soon. When's the release date? I mean, have you?
I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping to go the mainstream publishing route instead of self-publishing this one. So it could be quite some time, but we'll hopefully soon.
I see. So that's good news for you in the future as well. But let's speak about how your writing has changed from when you started off when you were 11. That's preteen.
Yes.
And now you're out of your teens.
Yes.
See how I work that in? I'm not saying her age, but I'm saying she's out of her teens. So that's that's almost a decade that you've spent there writing different novels. Do you see that your novels have changed from the 1st to the 7th?
Yes, definitely. The subject matter that I started writing about when I was younger, I was only focused on the cliques and drama of high school and middle school, but now I wanted to write about more serious things, and as I've progressed, I've tried to tackle different issues that not all teens may face, but it's definitely something that they should keep in mind. A lot of teens have to experience substance abuse, grief, eating disorders, like the very serious topics that you might not necessarily want to read about, but I wanted to make them interesting and not necessarily things that people want to shy away from. So now that I've tackled that in several of my books, I wanted to write more about just topics that interest me, and I'd taken a psychology class and learned a lot about serial killers, and I thought, what if a teenager had to deal with this? So I thought that would be something interesting to tackle.
All right, wow, that's amazing. But now you're a mini celebrity, I mean, in the United States. You've been on so many TV shows, and you've spoken to a lot of people as well. So what's that experience been like?
It's been a really fun experience.
Besides trying to explain to them how to pronounce your surname, because I've seen some of them struggling a bit.
Yeah,
I saw it on your site as well. But let's speak about that experience.
Sure. I did my first TV interview when I was 14, and I was a freshman in high school, so it was a very fun experience. I was a little bit nervous at first, but I had done school assemblies and I'd gone to speak to kids, so it was just like a regular conversation, and it was a lot of fun. And then I did several more when I was in high school, and one time a TV crew came to my high school to film, and it was fun because all my classmates got to just like be in the shot and actually see what was happening. So it was a lot of fun, and I definitely felt that I had the opportunity to reach a lot of viewers and readers, and especially young people who might be watching TV instead of reading, and I wanted to be able to reach out to them and say, hey, pick up a book or start writing. Just kind of open their minds up a little bit.
Do you find that that's important, is it, for
Yes.
young people as well as young adults to really pick up a book and read or write
Definitely.
out what they feel? And what are your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you've spoken about this on other TV shows as well.
Yes.
But because that's a cause you feel strongly about. But what can you tell us here on Good Morning Sri Lanka
Sure.
today?
I think that reading and writing are absolutely crucial for, especially for your young students, and also as you, even as a teenager, continuing to read helps work on your speaking skills, your writing skills, and can definitely be useful in the workplace. So I would say reading is probably the most important thing you can do at a young age to develop your mind, learn more about the world, and just be able to step outside the bubble that you live in and really learn what you want to do and go from there.
All right. And what are your other hobbies now, besides doing economics? When it comes to your degree, that's what you're doing. But you're doing creative writing as well. I'm assuming that you have some time left to maybe.
Yeah.
What are your other interests and things like that as well?
I love to read. I collect so many books. My mom is always complaining because I have so many books in the basement and I'm taking up so much space.
Library card.
Yes.
That might help a bit.
I like collecting them and getting them signed, so it's a bit of a problem. But I love reading, and whenever I can, I like to just sit down, take a break, and read because I don't have that much time to do it anymore as much as I used to when I was younger. But also, I love music. I play the piano, and I used to play handball, so just taking some time to play piano every now and then is nice because otherwise I forget, and I forget the songs I know.
But I mean, the day in the life of an author, right?
Yes.
Balance everything, and you're still good at the end of the day. But I know your books are probably your babies, and you don't want to pick and choose in between them. But let me just ask you and put you on the spot here a bit. Which is your favorite? Secretly.
My favorite is the one I'm working on right now, but since that's not done yet, I guess I would have to choose between Duplicates and Love and Lies.
That's the ones we have on the coffee table. Yeah. Love and Lies, what is that about?
It's about a summer camp and the 7 teenage counselors there, because I thought a lot of, especially in the U.S., most kids go to summer camp, and a lot of
concept that we're really familiar with.
Yeah, I've actually never been to summer camp.
Oh, okay. But you would kind of imagine what it would be like in a summer camp.
I figured that since kids who go to summer camp are usually like maybe 7 to 10 years old, and they make a lot of friends there, and they always look back and like, oh, that was a good summer, that was a lot of fun. But I also thought about maybe like how do the counselors feel, because I'm sure there are teenagers who work together and they have the same summer experience, but they're teenagers. So how does that change them? How does that summer impact their lives? And what kind of relationships do they form at summer camp, even while they're working? So
what's your process of character development? I mean, how do you go about it? Do you think of what the characters will be and then the story writes itself, or do you start from the end and say, okay, the book is going to end like this, so let's go back to the beginning?
I have some kind of general idea of how the plot's going to go, but especially now that I've been focusing more on character development, I like to just take all the main characters and even the secondary characters and people who don't really technically matter that much in the story, and make sure that they're very well developed and that they seem realistic, and that if a reader read something that this character is saying, that they'll believe them and they'll like care about them and want to know what happens to them. So I feel like the character is the most important thing, and then the story will just unfold if you have strong characters.
Very cool. All right. So is that the sort of advice that you would give for a budding author out there as well who's watching our show today?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that there are so many viewers who are watching the show this morning and just before they go off for work or anything like that, and on YouTube as well, you can watch Good Morning Sri Lanka. But they'd like to know your opinion on how they can start up, publishing their own novels and becoming a writer.
I would say every writer's process is different. I know some of my friends who are authors, they will just go through writing the entire book and not plot anything, not write down anything about the characters. They just write the story, and they say that the story takes over and the characters take over.
Okay.
But for me, I definitely need to do some planning, and sometimes I get too caught up in the planning, and it's hard for me to actually start writing because I want everything to make sense first.
Okay.
But I would just say, as long as you have the inspiration, just make the time, even if it's 15 minutes a day, and just start writing. Even if it doesn't have to be the story, it doesn't have to be a novel, just get in the habit of writing, and then the stories will come.
That's great advice for any budding authors out there. But what's your support system like at home as well as among your family and friends? And does it really help you a lot that they're around you and behind you? Because I know that they are very supportive of you.
Yeah, I live very close to home. So I'm lucky that I can go home every weekend, and my sister is my best friend.
She's elder to you or younger to you?
Older, yes.
Okay.
She's always the one I can go to talk to about anything, and I definitely love having a sister.
Is she the first person to read your books? The
my dad is. My dad grabs it. My dad's my number one fan.
So he has to give you seal of approval before the book goes out to anyone else.
He'll give me editorial feedback. If he doesn't like something, he will tell me.
I see. All right. But do you always incorporate his advice?
Almost always.
All right. I'm not getting the daughter into trouble on the show this morning. But let's speak about your future plans. Now, what are you planning on doing? Are you going to continue down the line of writing? Because you have a degree in economics as well. In May, you'll be graduating from university.
Yes.
So, so what are your plans for the future?
I definitely want to keep writing. I'm hoping that I want to keep it as a hobby, and I'm hoping that this 7th book will be hopefully my breakout novel, and it'll be the book that changes my career. But I'm also very excited. I'll be starting work in an investment bank after I graduate in May, and my mom's really excited too. So
Your mom? Yeah. I like how she added that last one. And my mom's really excited about it. Stop writing. No, I'm sure
no, she's very supportive.
All right. Thank you so much, Sara. That's all the time we have with you this morning, but it's been lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
To share your story with all our viewers as well. Now, your books are available on Amazon?
Yes, Amazon, and also as ebooks on Kindle, iPad, and Nook.
That's amazing. So that's for all the Sri Lankan viewers out there. That's how they can get their books. And if you want to find out more information about Sara Samarasinghe, you can go to her website. That's www.teenauthorsite.com. www.teenauthorsite.com. All right. Thank you so much, Sara, for being with us on the show.
Thank you so much.
It's been so much fun having you.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoyed yourself as well.
I did, definitely.
All right. So we're going for a very short commercial break, but we will be back with a few gentlemen who are revolutionizing the way education as well as career development happens here in Sri Lanka. So we will be with you right after the break. Stay with us on Good Morning Sri Lanka.